Have you ever just caught yourself completely lost in a conversation that never actually happened? It's this private, almost secretive habit that most of us never really talk about out loud, but psychologically, it is incredibly common. So, in this explainer, we're going to unpack exactly what your brain is doing when it spins up these elaborate stories. And trust me, the mechanics behind it are absolutely fascinating. I mean, really think about it for a second. Why do we argue in the shower? You're walking alone, lying in bed at night, or, just washing your hair, and suddenly your mind creates this totally detailed, high-definition scene. You're debating someone, you're explaining something perfectly, or you're finally delivering that absolutely flawless comeback you wish you'd thought of 3 hours ago.
But the fascinating paradox here is that these conversations are entirely made up, right? They don't exist anywhere outside your head. Yet your brain treats them as if they're actually happening right in front of you. As you play out the scene, you might feel a rush of excitement, genuine anger, tight anxiety, or even a huge wave of relief. Your heart rate literally changes. Your emotions react, your body responds. It's not just a passing thought, it's a full physical experience.
Section 1. The Science of Rehearsal.
So why on earth do we put ourselves through this? Well, it's not just random daydreaming. Psychologists call this mental simulation. It's basically the brain's process of constantly running possibilities in the background as a rehearsal space. It's actually one of the main reasons we humans are so good at planning ahead. You are literally using the exact same mental machinery that Olympic athletes intentionally use when they visualize their performance, or that public speakers use to imagine their speech before stepping on stage. Your brain is just quietly running the tape.
But for a lot of us, this simulation system boots up and goes into absolute overdrive, even when it's not really necessary. When your mind creates scenarios while you're just, say, walking to the store, it's rarely just for entertainment. Your mind is actively trying to resolve something emotionally deeper. Usually, it's trying to close the loop on unfinished conversations, soothe your anxiety about something coming up in the future, or quietly feed this deep desire for control in a world that, let's face it, often feels pretty chaotic.
Section 2. 3 common fake scenarios.
So what exactly are we simulating? Psychologists have observed that these scenarios usually fall into 3 main emotional archetypes. See which of these you identify with. First up, argument scenarios. This is where you imagine defending yourself, explaining your point perfectly, or finally winning an argument. Usually you're trying to fix a past conversation you wish had gone differently. Next, we've got future success. Imagining achieving something huge, getting recognition, proving yourself. It can be super motivating, but it can also become kind of a mental escape from your current reality. And finally, worst-case scenarios. This is where your mind spins out negative outcomes, preparing for failure, running what-ifs for things that haven't even happened yet.
Section 3. Processing social interactions.
Now, why do certain people run these mental tapes way more frequently than others? Well, people who regularly imagine fake scenarios often share one core trait. They spend a massive amount of time constantly analyzing how others perceive them. And it's not because you just want attention. Actually, it's because your highly active brain is continuously analyzing social situations. Creating these imaginary conversations is simply your mind's way of processing those interactions. It's like your brain is perpetually practicing for social reality.
Section 4. The illusion of control. Here's where things take a bit of a cautionary turn, though. This totally natural, helpful habit has a tipping point where it can quietly morph into a restrictive mental loop. Because in your imagination, you control everything. Think about how dangerously satisfying that is. In these fake scenarios, you always say the absolute perfect thing. The other people respond exactly the way you want them to. The whole shebang unfolds perfectly without any awkward pauses or unexpected rejections. It's this completely safe, predictable little bubble.
Section 5. Imagination versus reality.
Let me be clear here. Imagination itself is absolutely not the problem. Like we said, it's an incredibly powerful tool for planning and preparing. But a core conflict pops up when this beautiful, predictable simulation space starts replacing actual real-world action. On one side, imagination gives you perfect control and predictable outcomes. But real life, it rarely works like that. It's messy, it's totally unpredictable, and most importantly, it requires action. People get stuck in these simulations because the imaginary version just makes so much more sense. It's safe. But no matter how much you practice, you can never fully predict the messy, beautiful reality of a true human interaction. So the absolutely crucial point to take away from this explainer is this: real growth happens in reality, not in simulations. If you're someone who does this a lot, please know there is literally nothing wrong with you. You just have a highly active, analytical mind trying to figure out the world. But the trick is recognizing when your imagination is actively helping you prepare and when it's quietly turning into a safe place to hide. Because while your mind is incredibly gifted at creating brilliant stories, the most important experiences of your life are always going to happen outside of them. So I'll leave you with this. The next time you catch yourself winning an imaginary argument in the shower, what unpredictable real-world action are you going to take when you finally turn off the water?